Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's weekend and that means that it's time to take a look at another deck out of my deck collection. And because I've worked with this deck last week, I thought it would be, I wanted to show it right now to you guys. And so this time we're taking a look at the Britt's Third Eye Tarot. You can get this deck on Make Playing Cards. I will have a link to that in the video description down below. Unfortunately, I don't have a clue who the artist or the creator behind this deck is. Maybe it is wanted that that she or he wanted to be, yeah, not mentioned. Maybe Britt is the person behind. Maybe it's an artist's name or something like that. I don't have a clue. It's not here on the box, and I think at least I can't remember seeing it anywhere on my playing cards or anything like that. If you know who is the creator or artist behind this deck, I would love to know, so feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, if you're new to my channel, I will have two different videos, two different formats up on my channel for this deck, so you can choose which format fits your time or your interests better. Either this one, which is the journey through video, which will be a long, in-depth walkthrough with every detail that you possibly need to know, or the quickie with this specific deck, which I will have a link to in the video description down below and probably also up in the cards. And the quickie is a quick silent flip through of all of the cards, but without any comments from myself, without showing you the box or the guidebook or the talking about the card quality or anything like that. So feel free to choose which format you prefer, which fits more your interests or your time that you have left on your day. So with that said, let's start right in. So Brit's Third Eye Tarot, because it comes from Make Playing Cards, it comes in a standard tag box. That's all you get. At least it's not one of those window tag boxes, and the creator has put a logo on it here and a little bit of text on the back, but it's still your standard Make Playing Card white tag box. It has a little hole here to easily put the lid up. It doesn't have an extra fold in here, so it is what it is. Not really worth to talk about a lot. But it's what you get with Make Playing Card orders, isn't it? And I can understand with publishing an independently a deck, you need to weigh your options in terms of quality and pricing, so I'm fine with that. In terms of guidebook, there is no guidebook that comes with this deck, and I don't think that there is an existing guidebook in PDF format either, so it's just what you make, what the cards are telling you, what your intuition gets out of these cards, but it is Rider-Waite-Smith based, so it's quite easy to understand the card imagery with the meaning of the cards, but there are additional symbols or additional things put in there which I really love and which makes sense for me with the cards. So I like that. In terms of cardstock and card quality, you can see it is I think it is more on the matte side of things. It is not completely 110% matte, but it is definitely not glossy. And it just has a the slightest sheen to it, but it's more matte than glossy. It feels smooth. Not, yeah, it feels smooth, a little bit textured, but not a lot. It feels also a little bit buttery, but not like rose petal finish or anything like that. Um, the thickness of the cards, here you can see it. If it decides to focus, it won't focus. It is a good thickness, so it's still flexible, but it's not flimsy or not sturdy or anything like that. In terms of shuffling, they don't stick together. You really decide amazingly. Probably there you could see it. Really, every card slides. No chunk building or anything like that. They're not sticking together, but they don't are too slippery, so you can easily shuffle them overhand. I'm not a riffle shuffler, but I will show you how the cards are bending. So you are able to get a bend in there. So this deck will be riffle shuffleable as well, I think. And also, yeah, sturdy enough or thick enough that you won't hurt the cards as easily. Size wise, so this is a card from the Shadowscapes Tarot, a typical valence size, I believe. So it's actually the same width, but just a little bit taller in terms of the size. So it's perfectly handleable. So these are the bags, and there you can see this is a very colorful deck. The art style is a little bit, I would describe it as more on the anime, manga kind of style. It is very colorful. It is, yes, it has its own style to it, but I love it. Um, so the bags are reversible, I believe. So if you use reversals, there you have that. Let's turn it around and look at the images. So no etching with the cards, but I think it works because of the white borders. The cards have borders, as you can see right here, those white borders. They have the title at the bottom. They aren't numbered, so with especially with strength and justice, you can put them in the position where you would like them to be in. As I said, I have the titles at the bottom, the beautiful, colorful image, and the white borders. Even though these are not the thinnest of borders, I don't mind them actually on this deck. Um, So they don't disturb me in terms of getting to the image or anything like that. So I left them on. But I think you could trim them quite easily as well. It won't mess the back up. So you can do that as well. So let's start. Let's zoom in a little bit. Ooh. So there you go. So you really can see the gorgeous artwork. And let's start our journey through the stack with the Fool. I love I love most of the depictions in this deck, how they, even though I'm not really a manga anime art style lover, because normally I don't like how people are depicted in their style. I love the colors in this deck, and I love the how the artist chose to depict the different cards. I mean, the Fool, it is not your traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Fool standing up on a cliff with its bag and a little companion. It is a baby. But I think it works perfectly. I mean, the baby starts its journey into life and it learns its lesson through life. Um, so I love that we have a baby here, its eyes closed. I love the infinity sign. So one journey starts and it will be an endless journey, even though we are dying. There is something after death, or yeah, and even though we have learned a lesson, there will be the next lesson to learn. I love the background colors here in those blues, deep purples, and pinks, because that reminds me also of a spiritual journey that we are going through our lives as well. So I really like that. And you have that halo around its the baby's head, so it's like the innocent beginnings, but also the beginnings where you haven't learned anything yet, you're just being and open for the things to come. A whole other energy with the magician. I love the use of reds and oranges in this card because I think it really fits the magician and the magician's energy. It is a really powerful energy, a really bold, fiery energy, at least for me. So I love that she is dressed in red. I love that we have the oranges and reds in the background. We still have the infinity sign up there, and I love she has a really confident look on her face, and I love that she is manifesting the energy with her belief, with her focus, and with her willpower. Um, and she has all she needs for that in herself. So she doesn't even need the tools. She only needs and uses her hands, and I love that as well. The High Priestess. And I think with only seeing these three cards that we have seen up until now, you can see where it is based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's going its own way with that because you have your own things and symbols and details in the cards, which work beautifully with the cards, at least for me. So the High Priestess, I love that it's all in blue. We have lighter blues and darker blues for the deeper waters. I love that she has the veil on her and you can just see partly her face. We have the moon phases, the three moon phases on her necklace, which I love. I love that she's holding a mirror. So it's really like the portal, and you need to reflect on yourself. You need to dive deep into yourself, into your emotions, into your shadows, into what lies beneath the surface. Um, so I love that reflection, that with the mirror right here, and she offers you um, the starting point with the mirror. She gives you a hint where you need to look or where you need to start within yourself and reflecting about, yeah, what's going on inside yourself. So I love that. Um, and then you have that silhouette of that head, of that face that big star here in the background. Um, so, and what almost looks like a full moon right here. So I love that. Or could also be a scrying ball, but I think more a full moon. I love that star up here, which is guiding you through the deeper, darker waters that you are going through in that moment. Um, and also that lightening up what's going on inside of yourself by reflecting it, because of where the star is placed in the headspace. So I really love that High Priestess. Love this Empress. She's so beautiful. So you have the stars right here, which you can normally see in her crown, um, in terms of the 12 zodiac signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can only see 7, but you could imagine that yeah, there you can see a tip of a star. So the stars are going on behind her, so it could be 12. I love all the greenery and the flowers behind her. So you really get the sense that she, yeah, stands in a garden. She enjoys life. She creates a life. Um, and abundance. I love her gentle smile, her gentle expression on her face, that she is focused on that new life that she is creating or that is created inside of her, or even on that new project. Speaking metaphorically, I love her hair with that flowing motion that you can get of that. So really beautiful. The Emperor, the first card, which doesn't depict the archetype as a person or as a human, but I think it works perfectly. The Emperor works perfectly for me with a tree. A tree is very stable, um, very majestic even, and wise and ancient, and it has deep roots, and it has experienced a lot in its lifetime, and can draw from that experiences, and all of that experiences are saved in the tree itself, in the roots. And it can, yeah, it connects the deeper stuff with the higher stuff, and also the middle world, so the three worlds even. We have the big sun in the background, fire energy, sun energy that we get with the Emperor, masculine energy. Um, I love that we can see the roots of that tree. So you really get that sense of rootedness, groundedness, stability. Um, yeah, and all of that stuff that you can see with the Emperor, as well as that little guy inside the tree. I don't know if it will focus. It looks like an owl, so you have that sense of um, making wise choices, having learned from your life journey, and therefore being so grounded, so confident, and yeah, are able to make decisions which are for the greater good. I love this Hierophant card. Especially, I love the purples that are used in this card because it fits perfectly with the Hierophant for me. I love that we don't have a popey figure or figure that has supplicants. We just have her standing here, with her eyes closed, praying, or doing at least a prayer posture. Um, she also has purple hair, so it could be that she is a supplicant or that she is the Hierophant. or even both. Who says that we can't be a supplicant of a belief, of traditions, of a belief system, of a spiritual path, and also be the Hierophant at the same time for other people? So I love that for this card. And I love the detail with the box around her head, which is also a little bit of a reminder of the shadow side of the Hierophant. Um, with that sense of don't follow blindly a tradition or a path, make it your own and see where it fits in and what isn't probably right, at least for you. So don't be too boxed in sometimes by the tradition. Sometimes it is time to think in new ways. So I love this Hierophant. The Lovers. You have two people here holding hands, creating that energy around them, by putting the two different energies together, and they're going on their path and uniting their paths. But also they need to decide which path they want to go, because they won't be able to go both paths or both ways together. So either they need to split up, and one of them will go this way and one of them will go this way, or they're deciding to stay together, but then they need to make a decision which way they want to go. So that fits perfectly with the decision aspect of the Lovers card as well. So I really like that. The Chariot. I love that because you really get that sense of confidence, of focus, of, yeah, focusing on your goal and how you can reach that, and being strong and confident in following it, or in reaching it. And you really get that sense of that posture, of that bow and arrow. You have that fire here on the tip of the arrow that radiates its energy out, um, and enlightens her and gives her power and strength. You also get the sense of the stars and the night sky, which you will often see as well in the Chariot card. So it's beautiful. You get that opposition even between dark and light, and being stable and confident, and in your power even in that opposition. So I really like that. I love her expression here. Very focused, very determined, very confident. I love that. I think it works. Strength. I really like that. I love also the use here of red and oranges. I love that radiating power that's coming out of that fist. So you have that sense of physical strength, but you also have that sense of inner strength, with her and the lion, both both screaming. You almost get the feel that either the lion is inside of her and she released the beast inside of her, or she is inside of the lion. So you have that two parts in one being, and yeah, recognizing those two parts and working with those two parts, um, because of the way that they are positioned in the image, that they're both screaming. Her hair is also red and orange. So I really get a sense that these two beings are actually one, and one of them lives inside of the other. So beautiful. The Hermit. Also gorgeous. I love the deep, dark blues and the lighter blues in that light ray that is shining down on her. I love that she has the flame up on her head. instead of the lantern, because she creates that wisdom, that knowledge, that guiding light for others. I love that her eyes are closed to really get a sense of a journey inward. I love her posture with her hands, hugging herself, getting in touch with her heart space. I love the stars on that whale, but I also love that it is um, that material is not, you can see through it, it's transparent. um so it's beautiful, loving that. The Wheel of Fortune as a yin and yang symbol, which is quite interesting. It adds a little bit to it as well, but I think it works. Sometimes you're on the light side, sometimes you're on the dark side, but you can always find the dark and the light in um, its opposite, and it will change and it needs to change so that everything is in balance and everything can work out that way. Everything has a light and a dark side to it, so that we can recognize the other side, the opposite. Um, so it really fits. You also have the season, the abundance and the fruition and the life, and here more of the wintry kind of things where everything um, retreats and where everything is seems to be dead. So you really get that sense here. So it really works. Justice. So you have your traditional scales, you have your traditional sword, you have him or her. This is really gender neutral for me. Standing there really confident um, and armored. I'm not a fan that he or she, this person, is armored as much. What I love is the all-seeing eye up here. Um, So it works, it still works, but it's not one of my favorite Justice cards ever. But that's just personal preference. The Hanged Man, very simple. You just have a sense or a glimpse of a arm and a hand, which is bound by rope. I love that you have here some smoke or something like that rising up. I love that you have the purple and the blue in the background. I really love that image, even though it's so simple, and it still works. You get a sense of sacrifice, of being immobilized, but also the sense of getting a new perspective, even with that smoke right here and with that purple. So beautiful. Death, also really simple. You have a skull, you have the white rose that is growing through the skull. Um, yeah, I love the swirling of color that is used here. So the colors in that swirling motion of blue and pinks and purples. I like that. I like that circle of stars. So it's interesting to me that you have that circular motion with the circular stars and the colors which are in that circular motion with the death card. But I think it fits also. Death is a transformation. It is a process of change, of something ends and another thing so that another thing can begin. So it is a cycle actually. I love that we have that juxtaposition between the skull and the white rose, which works beautifully also. Love that temperance card. You have her sitting here in meditation pose, finding her calmness, her balance, her stability in herself. You also get a sense of balance and stability and calmness with that Very balanced rock tower here in the background. I love that her hair is flowing into the water, but you also get that sense. So you get a sense of balance and calmness and patience and acceptance with those two, but you also get that sense of mixing two opposing energies together with the water down here and the fiery red sky up there. So you have that sense of air, water, and fire, and even earth with the stones. So mixing the four elements together and finding the perfect blend to create something new, or to find that balance in between all of those four different things. So I really love that. The Devil, also loving this one. Really, I love the red dress. I love the black dark background, but really the sense that not really that humankind is bad and we're all bad people and full of sins and all of that stuff. But I love that she's looking in the mirror. So you need to reflect on your behavior and not just pulling your behavior on something else or creating the devil. You have the power to change that situation um, or your behavior. So I really like that when tarot decks do that, and they depict the devil as a person, or putting mirrors in the devil card. The Tower. I mean, this really gets the Tower energy across. At least what it feels like most of the times when the Tower really hits your heart and you're really deep into that Tower moment. Um, I love her posture. I love that her hair is also in that flowing motion. Um, I love that background. It almost looks like that um, destroyed crackling effect, which works for the Tower card as well. And it really focuses on the person that is experiencing a tower moment instead of depicting a tower where people are falling off. So this really gets the energy of the tower moment across in how we experience it in our everyday life. Um, so beautiful. The Star. So really get a sense of, I love that the star that is shining really brightly here is on her third eye crown chakra spot. I love that her eyes are closed. I love the posture of her hands again. I love her flowing hair again. I love that you have a lot of stars around her. And I love the almost like a rainbow background here. Really works for the star card. The Moon. Again, we have a beautiful full moon right here, and we have the silhouette of a person in front of it, and you have that sense of darkness, of not everything is clear, you can't see clearly. You need to figure a way through that. Um, you can't see all the details and all of that stuff. I really love that it focuses again on the person that is experiencing the moon energy. Um, so it brings the moon energy down into how we can experience it into our everyday life instead of depicting two dogs and a lobster crawling out of the water. Which fits, and I get a sense behind that, and I love that moon depiction, but this focuses on our how we can actually experience it and how it affects us. And then we have the Sun, and I love this Sun card. I mean, it is everything you need for a Sun card. I don't need a horse. I don't need a baby on a horse, a naked one. I just need the Sun's energy And I really want to feel the sun's energy in sun cards, either in tarot or in Lenormand, because that's what makes the sun so special and unique. And that's what's the sun's energy, that brightness, that powerful, a fiery energy, that warmth, that almost like an explosion energy. And you really get a sense here with all of that colors, with that silhouette, that you, yeah, it really has almost a sense of a phoenix energy. She is rising, stepping up into her power, seeing clearly, um, empower herself, owning her power and her life. Um, yeah, so I really like that. But you also get a sense of sometimes clarity or getting too close to the sun can also be a shadowy aspect. Judgment, which I really like this depiction, especially when you don't really can get along with like all that religious Christianity type of judgment day and angels calling for judgment and all of that stuff, because judgment in our world, in our everyday life, is like reflecting on our behaviors, on our life, where we are right now, what have we done that have lead us here, what, yeah, and reflecting on that, learning from that, and then move forward. And yeah, sometimes or oftentimes that is offered or that is reached or you're able when closing your eyes, taking the journey inward, reflecting, and your third eye being open. So I love that depiction of judgment. And I love this world card. She is so beautiful. I love that she holds the world in her hands, that she's looking down. Um, I love that she's even naked right here. You really get that sense of, yeah, of Mother Nature, of Gaia, or even something bigger than that, because her hair building, yeah, that veil where you can see all of the universe inside here in the background. I really, really love this depiction. And you get that sense of a journey is complete, but there are other journeys to take next. So, really beautiful. So that were the majors. So now into the minors, and I need to speed it up a little bit because we're already 38 minutes in. So Ace of Wands, pretty traditional. I love that in this deck, the wand suit is really about wands. So you're almost getting like a little bit of Harry Potter feel. And you will see what I mean by that when we are starting flipping through this. Yeah, you have a hand holding the wand. I love that on the tip of the wand, on the wand's point, you have that illumination, that star energy that is bursting out and lightening up the way. Two of Wands, you have the person standing between two wands. You have the infinity sign right here. Instead of holding a globe, she's looking on a map and try to figuring out which way she want to go, how she can get there, and making a decision and making a plan of how she will be moving forward. You get a sense of wand energy in her dress because of that color. She seems to standing up quite high because you have the landscape behind her. At least for me, that is what I see. So works perfectly. Three of Wands, you have made your plans and now it's time to take action, to take the first step, to start manifesting your plans. She is high up on the cliff. She is manifesting her energy. She's putting the first energy out. So I really love that. And then she's able to, yeah, see what she she accomplished or to get her first results in. And I love that the wands are starting to bloom. Four of Wands. You have the four wands creating all of those different energies, putting all of those different energies out, uniting almost and lightening up the way. You have different people here that are coming together to celebrate, to having a good time, to creating something more stable even. So I really like that, and I like that you have different skin colors. um, really love that. Five of Wands, and you really get that sense of conflict, of an argument, of maybe even a battle, of argumenting which one's fault it is that all the wands are broken, probably. Um, so it really works. Six of Wands, you get that sense of victory, of success, of recognition, but you also get that sense of not getting too high up in your head and in your I'm the shit kind of thing. Yeah, really liking that. The Seven of Wands, you get that sense of a magic battle even almost. That this reminds me of the scene in Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets where they have um that duel lesson. So I really get a sense of that. So you have the sense of, yeah, defending your energy, defending yourself, um but also that sense of dualism. um so it works. And you get a sense of being higher up with the staircase here. Eight of Wands, pretty traditional. You have eight wands flying through the air. This one here, all of the wands are different, which I really like. I love the beautiful night sky in the background. I love that there are even some what almost looks like shooting stars accompanying the wands. So perfect for that. Nine of Wands, you really get that sense that she was already in a battle. She has fought probably multiple battles on her own, even, and she is wounded by that pretty clearly here. But she is still standing there. She's not giving up. She's still defending herself. She's still um, going on her way and moving forward step by step as good as she can and as she is able to. So I really love that. And the Ten of Wands. A lot of wands to handle here. And she looks a little bit desperate, a little bit, how am I? I'm not gonna be able to manage that. A little bit afraid that she is messing up, maybe a little bit overwhelmed as well. And you have her juggling all of the wands. But is that even necessary? Do you really need all of those wands at once? Or probably just focusing on one wand at a time and therefore figuring out which one is the right one for you? I love this page. A little child um, experiencing for the first time, probably even getting her first wand ever. Um, yeah, seeing all the wonders of creation in the world and the beauty and having fun experimenting with that. I love her red hair. Then we have the Knight, which is a pretty intense energy when you compare it with the page. With all of that reds and yellows and oranges in the background, she looks really confident and really badass in her facial expression. I love her red hair here also. and she looks really determined, and she's going for what she wants and where her heart is leading her. She's following her passions, she is creating it, um, and it doesn't matter to her what others say. She's staying true of what what she wants. So we have the Queen of Wands, open-hearted, open for new creation, or even opening up to let her energy flow out to create something new. I love the flowers in the background. These don't look actually like sunflowers. It could be some stylized ones, but they also look quite fiery to me. I love her confident, open posture here. And the King of Wands, which you could also see as the King of Swords because of the clouds and the blue in the background. But he looks really charismatic, really confident, really comfortable in his seat. You have the Wands right here. You have that new creation that is sprouting on this one. You have the fire energy with that burning wand right there. And almost a little bit of a trickstery energy with the way that he's smiling at you. So quite liking that as well. And here the page and the knight were both females. So let's look at how the other ones in the other suits are. So I would, I'm interested in seeing if there is gender balance in the court cards or not. So into the cups, my favorite suit, and I love this Ace of Cups. I love that she is holding the cup that is overflowing. I love that you have actually multiple cups here that are overflowing with water, with emotions. Um, because the ace for me is not actually about one single thing, it is about um, the whole suit and embodying the energy, all of the energies of the whole suit instead of just being one tiny thing. So I love that we have multiple cups right here. And I love her expression. It almost seems like she is offering you that chance, that opportunity to dive into the cups and, yeah, using that potential of the cup suit. The Two of Cups, I love that intertwining of their arms and taking a sip. I love that they're looking into each other's eyes. You really get that sense of they're crushing for each other, and there is that spark, um, that attraction that pulls them together. You almost have, get the feeling of that when you're looking at this image. At least I am. And you have that sense of being open for each other, being open and authentic to get to know each other more deeply. The Three of Cups, pretty simple. I love that these are beer glasses because that's a pretty unusual choice actually. But you really get a sense of celebrating, coming together, having a good time, enjoying yourself, enjoying life. Yeah, simple, but it works. The Four of Cups, and I love that image because she doesn't look bored. You could go there and say that she is bored and therefore having her eyes closed and needing to imagine something more interesting that is entertaining her. But also, you can go there as being like she's meditating, she's trying to get a balance of things and getting stable emotions, a stable inner world. And therefore, you need to have two cups full and two cups empty. So you have that balance, that stabilizing. Putting that out which no longer serves you, which is blocking you probably. Um, and putting that in, being receptive for that which serves you, which helps you to grow, um, which has a purpose, which helps you find that balance. So I really like that. The Five of Cups, pretty traditional. You have a person dressed in black. You have four cups that are upside down and one cup behind her that is right side up. You really get that sense of grief, of loss, of heartbreak. It almost looks like there is a tear here, so she's crying. Um, but there will be a way forward. Life is going on. So pretty traditional, but it works. The Six of Cups, I love that. I love when the Six of Cups is depicted like um you can see, you can almost interpret it like it's your inner child that you're offering a cup, and you really get a sense of that depiction because they're looking identical. They even have the same things on. So it's almost like she's taking care of her nostalgia, of her memories, of her inner child. And I really love that. And I love that we have the flower of life here in the background, which really works for the Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups, pretty traditional. You have a daydreamer. You almost get a sense of a daydreamer right here. A cloudy sky with seven different options to choose from. And she is wondering which one she wants or which one she should choose. The Eight of Cups, moving on into the next journey, into the next chapter. You have that sense of moving up. Instead of the moon, you have a star lighting the way, the new way. I'm normally not a fan of the Eight Cups being poured out, because I don't think that the Eight of Cups is actually like moving along from a hurtful situation, but just moving along because there are new ways to go right now, and it's time for something new to come into your life. Um, but I actually don't mind it here because you have that almost that platform where this person is standing on, and the cups creating a flow even deeper into the water. So you almost get that sense of she was either in that deeper, darker waters and has learned from that and has integrated, and now it's time to move forward into a lighter chapter or into the next chapter. Or, yeah, it's interesting what you can make up of this. Almost like by letting go of this situation and focusing on a new path, you are feeding your emotions, your intuition, your waters. The Nine of Cups. Love her just comfortable looking, satisfied, happy self, which is she is enjoying life, she is enjoying herself, she is completely, enjoying life, and is completely um, comfortable with being by her own. Completely, you get that sense of self-love, which the Nine of Cups is often about, at least for me. And the Ten of Cups, pretty traditional, two people happily ever after together, the overflowing big cup, the rainbow, so it works. Page of Cups, you get that sense of creating, being a little artist, which you also often see more in the Wands than in the Cups, but I think it works also for the Cups. The Knight of Cups, your knight in shining armor. So in the cup suit, you also have a female for the knight and a female for the page. So pretty female-oriented court cards, at least until this point. But you really get a sense of the knight in shining armor. You get a sense of being overly romantic, following your heart. So it works for the Knight of Cups. The Queen of Cups, you almost get that sense of the High Priestess because she's offering a mirror to you as well and has a veil on and her eyes closed, the cup behind her. So she's really reflecting on her emotions, her inner world, and she's offering you to do that too. And the King of Cups with the scale right here. So being balanced, either balancing your mind and your heart so that you don't get too emotional sometimes, or balancing your emotions in general. So really works for that, stabilizing your emotions actually. Ace of Swords, pretty simple Ace of Swords. Two of Swords, also pretty traditional. I love that you have the close up actually right here. The person is blindfolded. You have the two swords crossed. The Three of Swords, three swords pointing or stuck into the heart. You get a sense of the tears here. So it is hurtful sometimes, but you grow from that. You're getting stronger from that and wiser. The Four of Swords, resting, needing to take a rest and a pause from that, all of that mental energy, and just being for yourself at the moment. I love that she's depicted in a bed, but also like with her white, it almost looks like it is blending into the clouds. So I love that detail. Five of Swords. You get a sense you won, but at what cost? Because two swords are broken now. And actually, she doesn't look really happy. Six of Swords, moving forward, leaving all that broken shit behind that doesn't serve you anymore, that doesn't work, and taking a new opportunity. The infinite, the infinite journey of new ideas, leaving old ideas, beliefs, and thought patterns behind, and move forward. Seven of Swords, pretty unusual because she's running from the swords actually instead of having them in her hands. But you don't really know, is there reason for her to run? Or is it just in her head? What happens? Why are the swords that way? What is going on? So I love that with the Seven of Swords. It is the riddle card for me. Eight of Swords, blindfolded, all of the swords around her, but she has her guiding light, her higher self, her intuition, and she is able to get out. I try to look at if she is actually bound. Her hands could be bound behind her back, but at the same time, not really, because you get a sense of her hand right here. So it's easy for her to get out. She just needs to step forward and take that blindfold off and trust herself. Nine of Swords. You almost get a sense of the Ten of Swords right here, but the swords almost looks like stabbing her in the back. But you really have that sense of a lot is going on mentally because she's holding her head. You get a sense of a cycle, endless cycle of thoughts, in the way that the colors are cycling through her and she can't take it any longer. And the Ten of Swords, which isn't that traditional actually, you don't have a dead person lying on the ground. You have a person standing there, It is difficult. She is crying, and she probably needs to recover from that, but she's still alive and she can still move forward, and she has learned from that, with the third eye being open here. Page of Swords. Almost, you get almost a sense of fiery energy with that background color. Experiencing your idea, getting a spark of an idea. Um, Knight of Swords, on a rush, moving forward, focused on its goal, on its mission, or on his or her mission. Actually, with that, well, it looks female because it has long hair, or that person has long hair. So also your knights and your pages seem to be female. Queen of Swords. She looks pretty badass. That's not one that you want to anger or to get in the way of. But she's confident. She knows what she wants. She knows, yeah, she has learned her lessons and you can't mess with her. And her third eye is open here. So she's completely, you can't trick her. And the King of Swords. Almost get a justice sense with the sword, the scale, and the decision hammer right here. I don't have a clue what they are called. And the third eye is open right here. So he is able to decide because he is in his clarity and because he is analyzing. Ace of Pentacles. I love the colors, that light green and yellows. Two of Pentacles, pretty out of her element. For a Pentacle card, you have a lot of water and she needs to balance that stormy waters. But she looks pretty confident that she is able to do that. Three of Pentacles, working together to create this shape, to create success. So, and I love that we have different races, different skin colors, a darker skin color, a lighter skin color, and what almost looks like Asian. So I really like that because it needs different energies. Everyone, yeah, brings another energy to the table, and that's what leads to success sometimes. Another skill to the table also. The Four of Pentacles, pretty traditional, holding on to your resources, also a little bit miserly. Actually, you get that more because of her facial expression. Five of Pentacles, also pretty traditional. That sense of lack, of something, of resources. But she's open to receive with that posture. The Six of Pentacles, also quite traditional, giving and receiving. I love that opposition between the pinks in the upper half of the image and the blues in the lower half of the image. So you get that sense of balancing two different energies as well. Seven of Pentacles, planting your seeds, taking care of them, but at some point you just need to wait and yeah, being patient because it needs time for a tree to grow like this. Eight of Pentacles, working hard, doing the things that need to be done, working on your craft, focusing on the details. Nine of Pentacles, enjoying your abundance and your success, your financial stability, but also your physical stability as well. You don't have a bird of prey here, but it really works. She looks really comfortable and yeah, really enjoying the things that she has worked for. And I love, love, love this Ten of Pentacles. I love that you have the 3 generations here, the grandma, the mother, and the child. So you almost get that sense because of all of those three. Could be female with the baby, we don't know, of maiden, mother, and crone as well. Sharing the knowledge, sharing wisdom and resources throughout generations. I really love that. And I love that all 3 generations are actually interacting with each other and not just often like the older generation is sitting alone or more alone. Um, and looking at the happy family here, they're all yeah, interacting with each other and close to each other. So I love that. And I love how she or the artist depicted um with all of that crinkles, how they depicted age. Page of Pentacles, I loved it. She's sitting there, she's enjoying her books, she's learning her craft, she's gaining knowledge. Knight of Pentacles, step by step, getting to the solution. So all of your pages and knights are female, so you have a pretty female-oriented court. The Queen of Pentacles, multitasking. She's cooking, she's caring for her baby and her family, she's cleaning up, she's doing all the tasks, and she's caring for other people. But she's still happy doing so, she's enjoying it. And the King of Pentacles with all of its abundance. So that was the long video about the Britt's Third Eye Tarot. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you to decide if you want the stack or not. Let me know down in the comments, what do you like about the stack? Do you consider buying it? Do you already have it in your collection? And what are your thoughts yeah, about it? What have you experienced with working with this deck and all of that stuff? So please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to hear your viewpoint, your opinion, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's pull a card. I'm actually drawn to this one. To close this up, and we have the Ace of Wands. Perfect. Sorry for that. So new opportunities coming into your way, new opportunities for creating something, for transforming or changing something even, and for bringing your passion forward. So I love that. And a new light is coming into your life actually. So if you're right now more in a darker place because of all that crazy stuff that is going on, there is a light that it's coming your way, a new chance, a new opportunity. Just own it and don't let yourself be pulled down by all of that craziness. So that was it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.